You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet.
This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook and stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktails series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, The Doug Stewart Show, Sports Talk with Hot Sauce.
Yeah!
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials, because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Yeah. Thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. I really, really do appreciate it. Wait a minute. Woo! I feel good. Yes, sir. March 28th, 2015. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Yes. We got a packed show for you today, as we do every single day, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on the Doug Stewart Show. Ton of stuff we're going to get into, man. You can give me a call. You can hit me on the chat line. You can email your boy. I mean, we're very accessible, all right? So you can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to go, and I already see my peoples already in the chat room. Shouts out to Rail Scott, Jungle Brother, That Ninja, Big Smooth, Mocha Bella. Shouts out to all of y'all. Yes, sir. The easy way to be totally interactive, man, is to hit me in the chat room. And I read chat all day long, get your opinions, your thoughts on whatever we're talking about. We talk sports, but we talk hip-hop culture. We talk entertainment, pop culture, whatever's going on. Whatever you and your coworkers talking about at the water cooler, they call it water cooler talk, that's what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. That's exactly what we do. So we're going to talk some basketball, the NBA. It's official. Accused means guilty. I think that's the title of the show today. It's official. Accused equals guilty. Jim Harbaugh's in the news. He said some dumbass stuff. I can't believe what this guy did. I can't believe what this guy said. Next to Steve Nash, and what Steve Nash said a while back about the fact that he's only playing or he's not going to quit basketball because, of the money, which is totally understandable. I'm not turning down money either that you owe me on a contract, but you just can't say it. Well, Jim Harbaugh said something in the lines of that, so we're going to talk about that. The latest on Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao's money. Every day it's new news, and they breaking records as far as their money. And it's like a man law not to talk about another man's money, but hell, they promote this stuff. Boxing promotes this stuff and talks about how much money these cats are going to make on this fight on May the 2nd, so we'll talk about that, as well as Brock Lesnar. That's right, Brock Lesnar, a guy that's done something that no one else can claim in wrestling, UFC, MMA history. Yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit later. He calls it quits in one of those particular disciplines. So we'll talk about Brock Lesnar as well. And today we got a real cool, a real fun top five. We do top fives pretty much every day. Top fives are either Dougie Dailies. But today's top five, in honor of Dwayne Hayward. Is his name Dwayne Hayward? His name's Dwayne Hayward, not Dwayne Hayward. Hayward Nelson. Hayward Nelson. I'm mixing up his name on the TV show, but his name is Hayward Nelson. You remember Dwayne from What's Happening. Dwayne from What's Happening turns 55 years old today. 55 years old today. All right, and we do birthdays as well, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We do birthdays as well, and I really love doing the birthdays, man, because it's cool. I mean, we acknowledge somebody that's pretty well known in sports or entertainment, but the ill effects of doing the birthdays, man, is I really, really have to come to grips with my own age and mortality, man. I mean, Dwayne is 55 years old. And so, oh my gosh, man, this cat is 55 years old. And if you've seen him lately, I mean, the nice poofy afro that he had back in the day is gone. He's just like everybody else over the age of 40, bald-headed. Okay? And so that's kind of depressing as well. But then I find out, and I get confirmation that he's really old. In relative terms, the guy is 55 years old today, so happy birthday to him. But I started thinking about Dwayne Wade and his character. He's got one of the most recognizable catchphrases in TV, and you know what it is. Hey, hey, hey. That was Dwayne Wade. Or Dwayne on, I'm calling him Dwayne Wade. Or Dwayne from What's Happening. Hey, hey, hey. Whenever they came into a room, whenever they went to Rob's Diner or whatever it was, they yelled out, hey, hey, hey. And I remember me and my friends saying the same catchphrase throughout our youth growing up, and people still use it today. And the last job that I had, there was a guy named Wayne from Decatur. Shouts out to you, Wayne from Decatur. I think Wayne's actually called the show. I think he listens to the Doug Stewart Show as well. But Wayne used to call up to the station, and every time he'd call up, there was this little thing that somebody started, and they'd go, hey, 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 and it was his intro, okay? And so, catchphrases are kind of cool, and there's so many, and I've got a great list of catchphrases. I've got my top 5 catchphrases of all time, TV catchphrases of all time. Number 5 on my list is hey, 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 all right, in honor of Dwayne from What's Happening. He comes in at number 5 on my list. Now, this is – I kind of tried to do my little list. Tied to catchphrases that were kind of used in everyday life, or people, they set them out in the street. They just, you heard it on TV, but then you took it to the classroom, or you took it to the playground, or you took it to your office or whatever. And it's still kind of relevant today, and it's still kind of catchy, So there's a lot of honorable mentions that I have that were good, and people remember them being said on said TV show, but we didn't use a lot of these honorable mentions in daily life, or they didn't pop up just in general conversation all the time, kind of like my top 5 catchphrases on my list did. And you can kind of guess what the top 2. You can definitely guess what the top 2 are. But, to make it fun, I'm not going to give them to you right now. I'm going to give it to you a little bit later, all right? So that's what we're going to have some fun with today. Hit me up at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But once again, the way to be totally interactive is in the chat room, all right? Be my co-pilot. Be my wingman. Yes, sir. The chat room what makes this show totally interactive. So I'm going to read a lot of your chat today on the show as well. Get your opinions about these topics we're talking about. Baller Award. I know it's a Wednesday. Baller Award goes to the Golden State Warriors. Wow. The Warriors clinched their first division title since 1975-76, moving one way away from tying that 75-76 team for the franchise record in wins. They win last night against the Portland Trailblazers, 122-108. Your boy Steph Curry has another fantastic game, 33 points, 2 boards, 10 assists, and 1 steal. They get a Ball Award. And I kind of got I don't know. I feel kind of strange. I feel some type of way about Golden State because, when we were little, before the advent of ESPN and all these different networks on cable or whatever, Golden State was kind of like a unicorn. We never saw Golden State on the East Coast. There was no reason to see Golden State. And, 75, 76, when they had that fantastic year, that wasn't my formative years where I really understood basketball, what was going on. I was 5, 6 years old at the time. But the thing that was kind of cool about Golden State that I remember is their colors. Their colors are yellow and blue, kind of reminiscent of my high school gold and blue. But yeah, that was the thing about Golden State is we never, ever got to see Golden State basketball. Over the last couple of years, Captain Jack at Golden State, a lot of good players, pace, fast, up and down type basketball over the last couple of years, man. Real fun team to watch. When you talk about Klay Thompson and you talk about Steph Curry, some of the best young players in the game, man. And right now, they have the best record in basketball. All right, they have the best record in basketball, and chances are, I think they're 6 games ahead of the Atlanta Hawks right now. The Hawks have gone 5-5 in their last 10 games, and Golden State has gone 9-1 in their last 10 games. So they've kind of pulled away a little bit from the Atlanta Hawks as far as the best record in the NBA. So a real fun team to watch, man. They get it done last night. Speaking of Steph Curry, when we get back from the break, we're going to talk about the top 5 catchphrases of all time. I'm going to read some of your chat. I got a question to you, man. We're going to throw this topic out there once again, about the MVP in the league, man. This might be the closest MVP race that we've ever seen in our lives. Ever. So we'll talk about those guys. We'll talk some basketball. I'll take your calls. I'll read your chat. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Not a fan of this chick, but I really love this beat. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And I actually even like her rapping, but I do believe it's fake. just like Eve and that other chick that commented. And who was the other young lady that was with Eve when they were talking about Iggy Azalea? I can't even remember who it was, but they were going in on her saying that she tries to use this fake accent when she raps or whatever. And I'm not really a fan of that, but I'm a fan of that beat. And I'm actually a fan of her rapping. I just think that it's fake. You kind of understand what I'm saying? This is the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yeah, you can't sound like you're from Simpson Road or you're from Australia. I mean, that just doesn't work. That just doesn't work, all right? That just doesn't work. So, very suspect Iggy Azalea and her rapping. Once again, I like her rapping. I just think it's fake, all right? You can email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. You can check me out as well and tweet on Twitter at thedugstewartshow.com or doug2livestews.com. Some kind of way. I got 2 valid Twitter accounts that I can tweet from. I don't know what I did. I don't know what Tree did or something like that when she updated it to at the Doug Stewart Show. I don't know what she did. I don't know what happened, but I got 2 legitimate Twitter accounts that I can tweet from, and they both go out on the same line, a platform or whatever you want to call it. So at the Doug Stewart Show on Twitter or at Doug2livestews. I already put up your tweet for today, which is Daily Fortune, Lucky Numbers, and if you retweet it, you'll get some Stew Magic. You'll get some Stew Magic. So retweet that and get some of your Stew Magic. All right, before we went to the break, we were talking about the Golden State Warriors. They're definitely the team to beat, I guess, right now in the Western Conference, even though I don't think it's going to work out like that. I don't think Golden State's going to make it to the finals. And I don't know, maybe it's just years and years of them being a bad team and years of them being one of the doormats of basketball. But I still, right now, if I had to put my money on it, and this is a team that right now isn't even close to having one of the best records in basketball, but if I had to put my money on it, I'd still, right now, go with San Antonio. And San Antonio is the 6th team in the Western Conference, and maybe they are going to hit that proverbial wall this year and get old. And, you know, they got a bunch of older players, and Tim Duncan of note, and a bunch of guys that, you know, have kind of seen their best years, okay, and Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. So right now, San Antonio's the 6th seed in the West, and I think right now if San Antonio and Golden State were to get into a playoff series, I'm still taking San Antonio. And also, I really like Memphis, who's the number 2 seed right now in the Western Conference. Memphis, for the last couple of years, seemingly have had the team that you think could win an NBA championship, but they always fall just a little bit short. And you're talking Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol, as well as Mike Conley at the point guard. So they got a fantastic team as well. And maybe maturation from last year to this year. Maybe they're better. Maybe they can take that next step forward. But I actually, in the West, like those teams better than I like Golden State. And it's kind of for that old saying, that old rule when you're talking about teams in basketball, and the NBA in particular, live by the jump shot, die by the jump shot. And Charles Barkley has been saying that forever and ever and ever. But it's true. Like any given night, a team can go cold, and that's exactly what happened this past weekend in the tournament with Villanova. I think Villanova was shooting 47% of their shots from three-point land, and they didn't have a good, efficient shooting night, and they lost, and they're out. So it's kind of more leveled off in the NBA because it's a series and not one game. But, yeah, you have one or two nights where Steph and Klay Thompson go off, and they depend on that shooting. Now, they got Draymond Green, who's a fantastic player as well, young player inside as well. But I don't know, man. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to believe in the Golden State Warriors right now. Fantastic year. Great coaching job by Steve Kerr. Fantastic young players, but, man, they take a lot of jump shots. They take a lot of jump shots, man. And when you line up against a team with a dominant power forward and center like Memphis or a team like that with Oklahoma City even, with Enes Kanter as well right now, I don't know. I wouldn't put my money on those guys. But the MVP talk, and you're talking about the NBA and Steph Curry and all of these guys, it's basically James Harden and Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry and LeBron. And then there's still some conversation about Anthony Davis. Who do y'all like right now? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Like once again, we had this conversation, I'm thinking like 3 weeks ago. All right? But who do you like right now? Who is your MVP and why? All right? When you look at each candidate or nominee, and pretty much everybody agrees on these five guys, is James Harden and it's Russell Westbrook. The slant on why they should be MVP is these are two guys that are playing at the highest level of basketball that you can play. James Harden is just unstoppable. And Russell Westbrook, for the most part, is unstoppable as well. I think James Harden got a better outside shot. But both of these guys, the thing they share in common is both of these guys are just unstoppable getting to the basket. I mean, they're unstoppable. And James Harden has the same move. He has like the quickest first step in basketball. He goes to his left every single time. I don't understand why they let that happen. 9 times out of 10, he goes to his left. He flies by the guy, and he lays it up. And I don't know where everybody's at. And I guess it's the office that they run. They spread the floor or whatever. And James Harden, he gets to the cup every single time. And not only that, 9 times out of 10, he gets fouled. Okay, so then he's shooting free throws. He shoots a ton of free throws. So these guys are guys that don't have the number 2 guy, the superstar player, and have been playing and carrying said team on their back. And James Harden, you're talking about Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook, or James Harden, you're talking about Dwight Howard, and Russell Westbrook, you're talking about Kevin Durant. So these guys have, in effect, put their teams on their back and dominated. And then you got Steph Curry. And Steph Curry's argument for basketball fans and people voting for this NBA is something you always debate. He's the best player on the best team. Not only that, I mean, he has that going for him as well, but at the same time, he is one of the best players in basketball. He's fun to watch. It's kind of cute because he's a small guy, and he's dominating, and a lot of people, I think, identify with him. You know, a lot of people, they don't identify with Shaquille O'Neal or Dwight Howard or these mammoth dudes that just dominate with brute force. But it's real cool to see Steph Curry at, I don't know, what's he, 6'2", maybe 6'3", at most, just dominate. And so that's kind of cool. And then you got the other argument for the last guy, LeBron James, the best player in the world, bar none. And it's not even, I don't think there's a question about that. There was a question when LeBron started coming on and Kobe Bryant was still dominating before all the injuries. And I don't think there's a question right now. The best basketball player in the game is LeBron James. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And after the little 2-week hiatus that he had where he basically sat out and rested his body and got his mind right, he's been LeBron. He's been dominating. And then the last guy is Anthony Davis. He's not going to win it, clearly. But the best young player in the game, I think Anthony Davis is the guy that I would take right now to start my NBA franchise over LeBron, because LeBron's played a ton of years, and LeBron's getting kind of long in the tooth, even though he's still got many years to go. I think LeBron and Anthony Davis right now, I think that I might take Anthony Davis. And back in the day, it was no question. You always take the more valuable big man than you would the smaller guy. That's kind of why Sam Bowie got taken before Michael Jordan. That was the way of thinking back in the day, so I kind of identify with that. But, yeah, LeBron's the best player. Anthony Davis is probably the best young player, the guy that most people would start their team with right now in the NBA. Who would you take? I mean, which one of these guys would you take and why? I mean, this. I can't think of another more heated race and debatable race for the NBA MVP ever. I can't because the first four guys, Anthony Davis, once again, he's not going to win it. He plays for the Hornets or for the Pelicans, and he's just not going to win it right now. Which one of these four guys would you take, man? LeBron James, Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, or James Harden? Which one of those guys do you think is the MVP right now? If I had to make a choice, I mean, to finish the conversation, if I had to make a choice, man, I think it'd be Russell Westbrook. I think it'd be Russell Westbrook, man, because, my gosh, you talk about grabbing the bull by the horns. I mean, that's what this guy's done. And really, I like the whole story with Russell Westbrook because I'm a guy, when everybody was crapping on Russell Westbrook, and I remember the conversations we used to have many years ago on the Two Live Shoes. And my brother was very critical of Russell Westbrook. You got to give the ball to Kevin Durant, and I understand that. He's the point guard. He's supposed to get the ball to Kevin Durant, who, is one of the MVP, one of the best players in the game. But I always used to finish the conversation about that, and I'm going to tell you something. Russell Westbrook ain't no punk. And if Russell Westbrook was on another team, Russell Westbrook would be the guy. It's just bad timing that he's on a team with another legendary Hall of Fame type player in Kevin Durant. But Russell Westbrook ain't no punk. So I love the fact that he's just balling out of control right now, and everybody's able to see that. I love that. And he had many, many haters. And him taking shots and not passing the ball to Kevin Durant has kind of been validated. It's kind of been validated. Am I wrong about that? All the discussion about Russell Westbrook, and he's a ball hog, and why don't you pass the ball? You know why? Because that man got heart too. And that man knew that he could ball just as much, we're seeing now, or more, or better than Kevin Durant. And so I absolutely love the story, man. 9 triple-doubles? They took a triple-double away from him from this past weekend. They took a rebound away. So the guys had like 9 triple-doubles, man. I mean, just fantastic. And just fantastic. One of the best players in the game. I think I would take Russell Westbrook right now as far as MVP. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Yeah. MVP right now in the NBA. Ooh. Give me Russell Westbrook. Give me Russell Westbrook, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me that boy. Ooh. I mean, Russell Westbrook plays like he's 6'11". He plays like he's 6'11". He's what, 6'2"? And he plays like he's 6'11", 7 foot. I mean, have you ever seen another dude jump off 2 feet, 2-hand slam like this dude does? Nobody. Except for maybe Derrick Rose. But yeah. Ooh, I love that kid. And he's exciting. He got much attitude. Like, he plays the game angry. And once again, a smaller guy in NBA standards, he plays the game angry, mean, nasty. Ooh, I love it. I love it. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll talk a little birthdays. I'll read some of your chat, and we'll talk more about these sports, all right? Don't go away. This is The Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. Happy birthday to this guy. Thank you so much for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. We're talking about top 5 TV catchphrases of all times. I'm also reading your chat, taking your phone calls. The number is 404-382-0338. You hear in the background Juvenile coming back from the break. Juvenile is 40 years old today. Cash Money Millionaires. What was the other guy named from Cash Money? And I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell me. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I think Juvenile is the first artist to come out on Cash Money with that ha. Am I wrong about that? Somebody correct me. There was another dude. Is it BG? I can't remember. There's so many of them little dudes off Cash Money records. But Juvenile is 40 years old today. Who else we got here? Aretha Franklin is 73 years old. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Is it just me, but Aretha look older than 73? Just like Terrence Howard looks older than 46. Aretha, every time I see Aretha, I mean, first of all, I say, good Lord, look at them big tig old biddies. Man, Aretha Franklin is busting out of her damn dress, man. Every time I see her, I'm like, oh, your dress can't hold them things. Good Lord. What is Aretha Franklin? Tree, jump on the mic there for a second. I mean, hey, I'm not a woman. I mean, but good Lord, Aretha Franklin is she's dripping out all over the place.
I think she had one of those surgeries, but
she had a breast reduction?
No, you know how you can get the gastric bypass?
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's why. Although she has enough money to get that situation
Good Lord, those like 78 triple Ds. I mean,
old,
they're huge. They're huge. But Aretha, happy birthday, Aretha.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah. From Tree's hometown, Detroit, a.k.a. Gotham City. Big Sean, speaking of Gotham City, Big Sean, rapper, 27 years old, from Detroit, Michigan as well. What's this the Detroit birthday day? Danica Patrick, 33 years old. Sarah Jessica Parker, star of Sex and the City. She's 50. All right, happy birthday to her. And you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. She's 50 years old. Okay. My wife loved that show. Lark Voorhees. She's 41 years old today. She's had some issues over the years with her. I don't know. I think they said, I read something, maybe she's bipolar, or am I thinking about the other girl that was on that show with LL Cool J? I don't know. Lark Voorhees got a lot of stuff going on, 41 years old. She was the actress on Saved by the Bell. She was real cute back in the day, real cutie pie. But now she's got something going on with her skin. I think she's got like what Michael Jackson had. I think she got that vitiligo. I think she's got the vitiligo, and I guess it's nothing to laugh about. But whenever I hear the term vitiligo, I think of Uncle Ruckus on Boondocks. I'm not black. I just got reverse vitiligo. Uncle Ruckus, a.k.a. Jason Whitlock. Juvenile, once again, is 40 years old. Avery Johnson, Avery Johnson's 50 years old. This isn't right. I don't know. We got to update this. Because I saw him this morning on the Puppet Factory. They interviewed him. He's 50 years old today. Avery Johnson, point guard, most notably probably for San Antonio. He played for many teams in the league. I think he played for the Seahawks for a minute. Or not the Seahawks, the Supersonics for a minute. So happy birthday to Avery Johnson. And then lastly, the guy that we talked about and the inspiration for our top five today, Haywood Nelson, is 55 years old. Dwayne from What's Happening is almost 60. And that's kind of like what I do right now when I turn 45. Technically I'm closer to 50 than I am to 40. And so Dwayne Haywood Nelson is technically closer to 60 than he is to 50. Wow, we getting old. Man don't have his nice little afro no more. It was very depressing, man. It was very depressing. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Hey, Doug Stewart.
What's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
It's Cotton from LaGrange.
Ty from LaGrange?
No, Cotton from LaGrange.
Okay, what's going on?
Oh, man, I'm just glad to hear you, man. Me and his boys down here, we listen to you every day, man. I'm so happy to call you and get on the phone with you.
Yeah.
And whatnot, yeah.
Yeah.
I got my name, man.
I know that's you, Vern. Stop it. Stop it, Vern. Stop calling up here with the fake voices, man. You're suspended. You're suspended till the end of this week. All right? We need y'all to screen these calls better in the bat room, in the engineering room. All right? Waterhead, we need you to. That was Vern. That was Vern. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talking about who do you think is the NBA MVP right now, as well as everything else going on in the world of sports. And also we're doing the top 5 catchphrases of all times in honor of Haywood Nelson, who turns 55 today. Number 5 on my list was hey, hey, hey. Coming in at number 4 on my list is you big dummy. Fred Sanford. Very simple. And I think we were already calling people big dummy. Maybe Red Fox and Fred Sanford did start that and saying it the way that people say it now, you big dummy. But that's, once again, my list is comprised of catchphrases from TV that are used in everyday life and that caught on after said actor used them. And so you big dummy definitely comes in high up there on my list at number 4 on the top 5 catchphrases of all times. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. In the next segment, when we get back from the break, I'm going to talk about this story going on in Chicago with Ray McDonald. And I guess I can go ahead and talk about it a little bit right now. I'll go ahead and get it out there right now. You've heard the story. Ray McDonald, former San Francisco 49er, was released, and he's reached an agreement with the Chicago Bears. And I've heard people go in on Ray McDonald. You know that he was accused of sexual assault, but charges were never filed. And the case kind of still remains open. Okay, it's still kind of under an investigation. But this all went down a while back and talking about Ray McDonald. So it's not anything that's just happened recently. And subsequently, he sued the person, the young lady, that accused him of the sexual assault. So he feels that confident about what he said or his claims of what exactly happened isn't the case. And it's real depressing to me, man, that I've heard people just go in saying they would not give this guy a contract, they would not sign him, he would not be a part of their team. And here's something I've always railed about in talking sports and how I'm much different than a lot of other people in this industry, is I always stand on the side of innocent until proven guilty. But in effect, what you have right now is, even though he's not guilty, even though there aren't any even charges, people are killing the guy. People are saying that he shouldn't even be given an opportunity and they wouldn't sign him to their team in the NFL. And I just think that's wrong. And we've seen this type of thing many, many times before. You remember with the Duke lacrosse case where they were accused of gang raping a chick on campus, and the whole thing was a lie. So you got to be real careful when you accuse people. People have been accused of things many, many times before. Now, there was another incident with Ray McDonald, same type of situation. So technically, there's two on record as far as accusations of sexual assault. Now, I'm not saying if, later on down the road, more information, more evidence comes up and he's charged and he actually is convicted of these crimes, then I won't be the same way, and everybody is saying, he screwed up. He should get exactly what he should get. Kind of like in the conversation about Darren Sharp yesterday. What I'm saying is we've gone from a point where we say innocent until proven guilty to now we're saying even though the guy isn't innocent until proven guilty, we're still going to be critical of said athlete and said person in the news, even if they were just accused. Even if there's no facts or there's not a case that's been tried or anything, we're going to say we're not going to give this guy an opportunity. And I just think that's bootleg. I think that's ass backwards. And I just totally disagree with the common sentiment that I hear right now on the Puppet Factory and all these other blowhards and all these people that are holier than thou. Once again, if the guy did do these things and he's charged and it goes to court and he's found guilty and we see evidence that he did do these things and he has been a menace to women, then I have no problem with it at all. But right now, he was accused of something. It wasn't even taken to court. There were no charges filed. He denies it. He denies it to the point where he's suing the person that accused him. And we're still killing the guy? Huh? We're convicting the guy in the court of public opinion? That court of public opinion thing is like the worst thing ever. Ever. Okay? And I've never been accused of something to this degree, but I've been accused by things by my mama when I was little, and I didn't do it. And I knew I was innocent, and I didn't like it. You know how many people have been charged with crimes, especially with the new DNA evidence that we have now, the availability to test DNA on rape cases. You know how many people have been released from jail that have been in jail for 30, 40 years that didn't do nothing? But because they were accused and they were charged and they kept claiming their innocence and they weren't guilty. They weren't guilty. And this is the same type situation you're talking about with Ray McDonald. Once again, if it's proven that he did these things, so be it. Throw the book at him. But until then, my gosh, you got to stop this, man. This is crazy. And I mean, to a man, they are crushing this guy. No, I wouldn't sign him. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have him on my team. And this is much more or much less or much more easy to digest than Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy, you heard details. Greg Hardy was technically convicted by a judge. It was thrown out. He asked for a trial by jury. And the person accusing him didn't show up, okay? And we can kind of assume that he paid her off. Much different story than Ray McDonald. Much different, but it sounds like they're putting Ray McDonald in the same group, in the same category with Greg Hardy. And I don't like that. What are your thoughts on that, man? We get back from the break. I'll read a lot of your chat. We'll continue to talk about these sports. We'll break down the top 5 catchphrases of TV from all times and do what we do on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
You ain't stewing. What the hell are you doing? Yeah! This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this. You own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. About to read a lot of your chat here. New York State of Mind. Y'all seen that story with Jay-Z? He got to pay that child support? I hate to laugh, but you know good and well that was your damn baby. Tree, jump off for a second. You know good and well that was your damn baby, Jay-Z.
That's so ratchet.
I mean, come on, man.
He got all that money.
Come on, man. But you know what? And clearly, I've been in this situation before, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I understand. I understand the dichotomy between a guy, and I'm not even talking in my particular situation, okay? I love my daughter. But I understand the dichotomy of a guy who, you know, got with a chick, and she knew what time it was, okay? She knew what time it was. And, you know, you really don't have a relationship with the child. I can understand where I don't want to say I understand, but I kind of understand why he feels some type of way, especially if he feels that this chick, the young guy's, the young man's mother, was a gold digger. So that's kind of dicey, man. I get
kind
it.
Of what?
I don't know I don't know. It's just. I don't know, man. I mean, bottom line is he knew that baby was his. That boy was his because the boy looked exactly like him. But I can understand him kind of feeling like people trying to come for him, initially. I guess that's the best way to put it. And there's a lot of kids out there who their mama probably tell them look like me. That's not mine. You see what I'm saying?
He doesn't even, there's clearly some other things going on with this young man. He doesn't live with his mother. The article said his caregiver. What does that mean? Where's his mama?
Yeah, that kind of made me believe that.
Jay-Z got with somebody that was like real busted, in turn mentally. He rode her raw. Yeah. Because all he had to do was wear a condom. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, condoms are not fun. I mean, I'm just saying.
AIDS is not fun either.
Let me knock on wood. I hear you, Tree. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. That was just some guy stuff I just said just now about the condoms. I mean, golly. That was just a guy thing I just said just now. And that slipped out. I didn't mean that. This day and time, I don't mean that. 404-382-0338. We're also talking about the top 5 catchphrases, TV catchphrases of all times on the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read a lot of your chat here, man. I appreciate the chat. I really do. He know good and well that damn boy was his. I mean, it looked like Jay-Z 25 years ago. Kicking it with Kissy. Any artist that does not pay homage and act with humbleness that their predecessors laid the way, and they are merely a minnow in the ocean, should be shut down. Thus, Iggy has to respect Latifah, Lauren, Eve, Rod Digger, Lil' Kim, etc. And I 100% agree. I 100% agree, man. And I don't know that chick Iggy Azalea or whatever. And I'd love to have her on the show. I actually know some of her management team. I've been trying to get T.I. on the show for a while. I mean, he won't come on. I mean, that's all right. Remember that. Like Mike Jones up in this bitch. Back then you didn't know me. And now I'm hot. Y'all up on me. That's right around the corner. But anyway, I don't know this young lady. I don't know her character. I don't know her personality, man. But and I don't know why these rappers are going in on her. And I guess I do because they feel like kind of that she's not genuine and that her whole shtick is not genuine. So I guess I kind of get that. But I agree with kicking it with Kissy, man. That's a very profound statement, man. I agree 100% in talking about Iggy Azalea. Stagger Lee. Bill Cosby even think what Darren Sharper did was effed up. Yeah. Vince Wright. BPA to Darren Sharper, a horrible person. Oh, he's definitely nominated. We were trying to decide whether we were going to nominate him because we didn't even feel like we wanted to be associated with Darren Sharper's brand, even though it is a BPA. But we went ahead and nominated him. And right now, he's the leader in the clubhouse. K3000. Iggy would be okay if she didn't say she changed the game. Tired of pop stars acting like their fan base is all the real hip-hop heads. And I guess that's really my issue with her. And why I'm not a fan. Once again, it's kind of a strange love-hate relationship I got with Iggy Azalea. One, because I do think her flow is kind of nice. But I do believe at the same time that it's fake. I love the beats. And, she's with what was it, Hustle Game or whatever right here out of Atlanta. So I love the beats, the tracks that she's come out with or singles that she's come out with that they've done videos with. They're catchy, But at the same time, she kind of, and I guess that's it, she kind of has this air about her like she's one of the best to do it and like she's the hottest thing going right now. And whenever I put those two together, I'm offended. I'm like offended. Like when you think about Lauryn Hill, like yesterday in the car, and I told the story yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And even though Lauryn Hill hadn't been a rapper, a serious rapper for, 20 years, it kind of, when Iggy talks, it kind of gives you the air of she thinks she's the best to ever do it. You know? And that's so far from the case. And then when you add on top of it, a lot of her stuff doesn't feel genuine. It feels like, let's just be honest. It feels like T.I.'s written a lot of her stuff. Like they told her this is how your flow should sound, and that's what she's doing. So when you add all of that into the equation, like as a rap fan that's been listening to rap for 30 years, I just feel some type of way about that. Yeah. What up, Tree?
So you're saying she deserves an Oscar as opposed to a Grammy for her performance abilities?
Yeah, she's performing well. She's a great actor. I agree. She's a great actor because she's pulling it off. Somehow she's got a fat rap ass. I just read something a couple of days ago, or maybe it was yesterday or last night. She's had breast augmentation. So she's trying to play the part. She's playing the part, And I can't really be mad. They're making money, and I guess at the end of the day, that's what T.I. and Hustle Game says. I mean, this chick is making us money, and he's defended her. T.I. has defended this chick till the cows came home. He's defended her. And I guess they got a lot invested in him, and it's about business and about making that money. So I get it from their standpoint, talking about Hustle Game and T.I. I get it, but you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful that the detractors don't start coming at y'all, is what I'm saying to T.I. and to Hustle Game. I mean, that's just my personal opinion as a rap fan. Y'all got much respect. Y'all, come from ashy to classy. But you got to kind of be careful trying to defend this chick and, what's going on with her. That's just my personal opinion. That Ninja Eve has skills. Nicki Minaj and Iggy are actresses. Music by Wayne and T.I. respectively. In talking about Nicki Minaj, I really do love Nicki Minaj's flow, but I don't know how much of it is an act as well. Like I really don't know about her. I can't really put her in the same category as Iggy Azalea. Like I don't know like what's real and what's not with Nicki Minaj. I have no clue. I'm not in depth into hip hop like that anymore to the degree. See, all of this stuff about Iggy Azalea, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and being fake and this, that, and the other. That's like stuff I just go to TMZ and I see on the front page. All of the talk about being fake and is she a real good rapper? Is her stuff being written by a ghostwriter or whatever? I'm not up on that story or whatever as far as Nicki Minaj. But half the time, Nicki Minaj be killing it. I mean, she do. And I've gotten a lot more respect for her. You remember when Nicki Minaj first came out? It was this little beef back and forth between her and Lil' Kim. And I was all on Lil' Kim's side. Like, how dare you, Nicki Minaj? I was like that. But over the years, she's kind of grown on me. Larry David, she's kind of dope. She is. A lot of her stuff I hear is very dope. It is. And that's just me keeping it real. From Griff, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Fred Sanford. Yeah, we really don't use that a lot in the streets, though. KC, Warren Sapp catchphrase, give me some more or I'll slap you. Y'all wrong for that. Oh, man, we already at hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, man. When we get back, we'll reset today's show. We'll continue talking about the top 5 catchphrases on TV in history of all time. I'll read more of your chat. A lot of chat based on the conversation about the MVP and about Ray McDonald, about to sign with the Chicago Bears, and your thoughts on that and how we play this, court of public opinion stuff. So I'm going to read a lot of your chat when we get back from the break. That's what I'm going to do. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Once again, that's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. That's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So I'm probably 6. So Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield. And it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is hour number 2. If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? Huh? That's the question I got for you. If you are not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? Thank you so much for joining your boy. And this segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as little as $16.50 per month. All right? Check them out, man. They've been in business for over 25 years. If you ever got a problem, ask to speak to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, and he'll take care of you, man. So really, give them a shot. Let them come in and show you what they got, the most up-to-date alarm systems in the business. Trust me, these people are high tech. I use them at my house. So check them out online at System5electronicsinc.com. Once again, it's System5electronicsinc.com. Y'all funny. Y'all are funny, man. I see y'all in the chat room with your conversation. I literally, and we getting a lot of chat because Tree made a comment and used the term have sex raw. And just like you cavemen dudes that listen to this show, y'all eating that up. That wasn't explicit.
If you're going to say it right. It's ride raw.
Ooh. Okay, see that, Tree? You can't do that. You can't. And now I understand.
12 o'clock.
I kind of get it, how Howard Stern is just blown up. Because if you've ever listened to Howard Stern, I mean, America eats that up. Maybe I should just go Howard Stern, but black. What do you think, Tree? We'll get more listeners? We'll get more people to tune into the Doug Stewart Show? Because I can do it.
I think you should just be yourself. Raw, authentic Doug Stewart.
And I am. Yes, sir. I'm talking Howard Stern raw, though. Maybe I'll have some half-naked chicks from Magic City up in studio. We tried to do that one time back in the day on the Two Live Stews. They wouldn't allow it. But yeah, maybe even more raw, because a lot of times I try to keep it somewhat PG-13. I have all the ability, if I want, just to go Richard Pryor up on y'all ass, or Howard Stern, and just say flim flam filth. But nah. I mean, we got.
No, let's save that for After Dark.
Right, and that's something we've been working on as well. The Doug Stewart Show After Dark.
Pay-per-view After Dark.
Right.
The Doug Stewart Show.
Right. The Doug Stewart Show After Dark is coming very soon, and the third hour is coming very soon. We'll save it for Doug Stewart After Dark. The Doug Stewart Show After Dark. You can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. You can give me a call at 443-820-338. I'm reading your chat here. Y'all really into this conversation about Iggy Azalea, too. That's another thing. We could really go Howard Stern and hip-hop conversation. Howard Stern, hip-hop conversation, and we'd be good to go. Gary Joyner, Australian accent wouldn't work in America. That's why I understand her fake accent. Yeah, but then why don't you get somebody with an American accent? Why don't you just get somebody with an American accent or just get an American rapper? You know how many, and this is another little issue I got with the whole hustle game and what they're doing with this Iggy Azalea. You mean to tell me, and this is obvious, you mean to tell me that you couldn't just get a female rapper from America and let her recite your rhymes? If that's the thing, if you're just trying to find, in effect, somebody to play the role, why do you just get a chick from down the street? There's probably 100 rappers in Atlanta that you could get to play that role. What are you doing? And that begs the question, what are you doing? Are you trying to get someone you think has commercial appeal? Huh? Is that what's going on here? It would make sense if you just said you want to get a girl rapper or you wanted to get somebody fly and create this persona. You write the rhymes for them. We got the guy, the producer in-house that can make these nice beats, and we're just going to find the finest chick we can to deliver the rhymes. We're going to create this product. Why do you go get Iggy Azalea from Australia? It just doesn't make sense, and that's why people question this whole thing, what's going on with her, and why did Hustle Game go and get this chick? I understand. Once again, I know it sounds like I'm throwing shade on what they're doing and this whole thing that they got going on, this PR campaign or this promotional campaign with Iggy Azalea. But come on, man. There's like 1,000 chicks that can rhyme in this country that you can just get on a plane and get to them in an hour. You had to go all the way to Australia? That don't make sense. That don't make sense, and I think that's why people feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Rappers been trying to get on, and for people that don't know, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Me and a couple of my friends, we started our own independent record label in Atlanta back in 1996, 97. We had a couple of groups signed. We did the whole thing, going around to different nightclubs, doing showcases, trying to build them up so that they could get a deal. That was our plan. And so I kind of know how this thing works. And just doing that, there's a showcase every other day in Atlanta with very talented young women, very talented, that can really flow. And you go all the way to Australia to get somebody and you build them up and you blow them up like Nitro. And that's why people got problems with it. It just doesn't make sense. Fat Boy McCoon. Iggy is a plant from the government. Iggy is a plant from the government? Here go ninjas. You're taking it to the next level. Why is she a plant from the government? Why is Iggy Azalea a plant from the government? Somebody hit me into that talk. I don't get it. From Griff, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Fred Sanford, KC. I already read this. We got moved down. KC, Dynamite. JJ on Good Times. What's up, Martin? Ooh, I forgot about what's up for Martin. I got to add that to the honorable mention. That may have even made my top 5. In my top 5 TV catchphrases of all times. Number 5, hey, hey, hey. Or hey, hey, hey. You got to say it in the right cadence. Number 4, you big dummy. Coming in at number 3 is top 5 TV catchphrases of all time is hey. Hey. Yeah, Arthur Fonzarelli. Yeah, Arthur Fonzarelli's quotable, hey. And it really doesn't make sense when you think about it. When you're 45 and you think about it, it really doesn't make sense. But in 1979, it made hella sense. It was cool. And then if you had the leather jacket to match on the playground in 1978, 79, if you had the leather jacket to match and you twisted both of your thumbs up to the sky and you went, hey, it was cool. It was very understood. And everybody was doing it in the street. So coming in at number 3 is Fonz. Arthur Fonzarelli, his real government name on Happy Days. Hey. Kiss My Go to Hell, Barnell Hill. Did you miss me? That was a good one. It's not going to make the list, though. Fat Boy McCoon, the great Ric Flair will be number 1. No, Ric Flair, I'm talking TV shows. Ric Flair was I guess we could have included it in our list of top 5 TV. But I'm thinking more of like sitcoms, like TV shows. Wrestling kind of goes back and forth between a sport and a soap opera. Chuck Down Frank, Django, the D is silent, white boy. Ronald Cameron, Fred Sanford, you big dummy. Griff, I'm Rick James, bitch. The great Rick James. I can tell you that right now. The quote from Chappelle's show. I'm Rick James, bitch. That made my honorable mention. That's classic. Vince Wright, Ohio looking to legalize the chronic, y'all. Watch out, LeBron. Okay. That's pretty big news. I hadn't heard about that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Stagger Lee. Okay, here go the great Stagger Lee. I mean, the studio audience is just going to boo him before I even read this chat message because I know it's something ratchet. Catchphrase from LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith to the barber, just a little bit off the top. Just a little bit off the top. Yo, you stupid. I mean, Stagger Lee, man, me and the studio audience, we give you a hard time, man, but I really think you should give it a go. The comedy thing, man. You do say some funny-ish sometimes. Fat Boy McCoon, Creflo Dollar catchphrase. The best nation is a donation. Yeah, y'all really going crazy now. Griff, did I do that? Urkel. Yeah, that made my honorable mention. That's not going to make my top 5. That's not my wheelhouse. I never watched one episode of that Urkel show in my life. I know. Shut up. I never got it. I never understood the infatuation with that show. What's the name of it? Family Matters? Is that the name of it?
Family Matters.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's powerful. You never watched it, but you know that phrase.
I know the phrase. You're right. Right. Yeah. Never watched 5 minutes of Family Matters. Never. Never. Maybe I was in college and something else was on at the same time. thus I didn't watch it. Like, if it came on during the time when New York Undercover came on and Martin came on, it was ass out. So I don't know why, but I've never watched 5 minutes of Family Matters. Never. All right, up next on the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, man, Jim Harbaugh broke rule number 4,080. I'll tell you about it up next, the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So I'm probably 6. So Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield. And it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and, Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whooped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. In a constant battle against lame-ass sports talk, you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Yes. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. And the chat room is on fire. Yeah, shouts out to everybody in the chat room, man, being totally interactive. Speaking of DraftKings, I think there was a DraftKings commercial just now played. Go to DraftKings.com, man, and create you an account and get down with this fantasy sports, fantasy basketball, hot and heavy right now, fantasy baseball right around the corner, which all this stuff came from fantasy baseball. So go on DraftKings.com, create you an account, and when you get to the little part where you put in a promotional code, put in the promotional code STEW. That's STEW. And if you put up to $600 in, me, that's Doug Stewart, me and DraftKings are going to match your money, so you will be playing with $1,200. So you put in $600, you play with $1,200, up to $600. But you got to use the promo code STEW. All right, so we're talking about the top 5 TV catchphrases of all time in honor of Hayward Nelson. Dwayne from What's Happening. He turns 55 years old today. I mean, happy birthday to him, but damn, he's old. And it's really sad when you go back and you're a guy that grew up in the era of What's Happening. I think he also played, I think Tree was telling me he played Grady's son. You remember Grady at the end of Sanford and Son, I guess, when all the writers got fired or whatever, or went on strike, and they started to Grady had a bigger role, and then they brought Grady's daughter into the storyline, and Grady's daughter, her son, I believe, was Hayward Nelson. I believe he was Hayward Nelson. But yeah, he was a little cool dude. He was a little dude back in the day. Him and Stoney Jackson. Tree, jump on the mic for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Mm-hmm. Were you a Stoney Jackson fan back in the day?
No.
Stoney Jackson used to be on the cover of Right On magazine every week. I hated Stoney Jackson. I was really hating. I was really jealous because Stoney Jackson and Hayward Nelson, they had the coolest little afros and the little curls, and they was always on the cover of Right On magazine every week, getting the eyes and the admiration of all the little girls in elementary school. I hated that. Willis
was nice looking dude.
Oh, yeah. Todd Bridges. Them 3 ninjas right there. Mm-hmm. Them 3 ninjas right there. Todd Bridges, Stoney Jackson, and Hayward Nelson. And any given week, they were on the cover of Right On magazine. Oh, man, I hated them dudes, man. I was a hater. I was a hater back then. I was a hater before the term became popular. So he's 55 years old today, man. And so we're talking about the top 5 catchphrases of all time. His catchphrase on What's Happening was, hey, hey, hey. And so that's what we're doing today. Number 5 on my list was, hey, hey, hey. Number 4 was You Big Dummy. Number 3 was, hey, Arthur Fonzarelli from Happy Days. And clearly, the content of my top 5s have to do with my age. So if you're under the age of 25, you probably don't get a lot of this, but just hang with us. Just hang with us, man. And most of the demo of the listener to the Doug Stewart Show is my age, or right around my age, plus or minus 5 years, 5 or 6 years. The Michigan Wolverines head coach, Jim Harbaugh, said something really, really stupid, man. He signed a 7-year deal worth up to $38.1 million this offseason at his alma mater. But then the guy said that he's really not worth it. And talking to TV station Fox 2 in Detroit, he says, quote, I'm not doing 5 times as much work as somebody else or doing more work than someone who's not the head football coach at the University of Michigan. So, to answer your question honestly, I would have to say no, Harbaugh said on Monday. The question he was asked was, do you think he's worth the money he's getting paid at Michigan? Now, clearly, Jim Harbaugh and coaches aren't worth what some other jobs or some other job descriptions are worth, but they get paid more, i.e., technically doctors should make more money than anybody else in the world. I mean, hell, they save lives. A lot of people will argue that school administrators, they teach our children, they should get paid more than football coaches. I get it. I totally understand. But they don't make the money that a successful head coach makes or a successful athlete makes and brings to said organization. So it's kind of dicey, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart. I get it. My problem with Jim Harbaugh, what he said in effect is probably true. He's not as worth. A head coach, a football coach isn't worth what a doctor or a judge or a school teacher is worth technically, but the world doesn't work like that. And you just shouldn't say what you are. I am 100% for keeping it real, okay? I am 100% for keeping it real, but some things you can keep it real by just saying, no comment. or I feel uncomfortable about answering that question. Which is better answer than I'm not worth what they're paying me. No man should ever say, and I'm sounding like Dame Dash over here, no man should ever say, I'm not worth the money I'm getting paid. You just don't do that. Steve Nash did the same thing this past year. Was it about a year ago? And this may be part of the reason why I don't like Steve Nash. Like, I really didn't like Steve Nash and all the adulation he got about, being one of the best point guards in the game when he played for Phoenix. I always thought he was overhyped. But I really, really have a sore taste in my mouth for Steve Nash when he took all of this money from the Lakers and really hadn't done a damn thing. But Steve Nash, when asked a question in an interview I think he did for Grantland, a little documentary that they did, and they asked him about, him and this money that he's getting on this contract and why won't he just retire because he continues to get injured and he doesn't produce, he hadn't played. And he says, Steve Nash said it. It's a quote. The reason I'm not retiring is because I don't want to lose the money. And now, we really respect honesty, I guess, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But sometimes you can just be honest to a fault. Just don't say that. We know, and I would probably do the same thing. I'm not going to quit so you can keep the little money that you agreed to pay me. The NBA's got it like that. They've got one of the best collective bargaining agreements in sports. And their union has negotiated guaranteed contracts. I wish they could do that in football. So in basketball, whether you play or not, you get your money. I mean, I think, what was the guy named that played for the Knicks? And back in the day, sharpshooter from Tennessee, whatever his name is right now. You know what I'm talking about. Somebody will remind me. Allen Houston, that's who it was. I think the Knicks still paying Allen Houston money. So I'm not mad at Steve Nash and the whole sentiment about him, wanting his money. But just don't say that you're continuing to play and you know that you are not worth the contract you're getting. Just don't say it out loud. Just keep that to yourself. And that's kind of like on the Chappelle Show when keeping it real goes wrong. You should never say I'm not worth the money I'm getting paid. Never, ever, ever. And you should never say that I'm continuing to play or I'm not going to quit, officially retire because I want to get the rest of the money on my contract. I understand. I feel you. I definitely understand. But you just don't say it. So Jim Harbaugh gets a BPA nominee. He gets a BPA nominee for the week, man. Write it down, Tree. So right now we got him, and we got Darren Sharper. It's going to be hard to beat Darren Sharper, but we'll see. We'll see. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. Golly, man. This show is flying by so fast, I didn't even get a chance to read any chat, and we're up against a break again. Damn it. Damn it. This is why we need a third hour, man. Oh, look at Stagger Lee. Stagger Lee. Honorable mention from Stagger Lee. Honorable mention from Eddie Long. Hey, little boy, come here. You stupid. You're stupid. From Griff, what you talk about, Willis? Gary Coleman, a.k.a. Arnold. Okay, yeah, that's probably going to make my list somewhere. All right, I'm going to read a lot of your chat when we get back from the break. Man. All right, the next segment, I'm going to break a record as far as how much chat I read, all right? I'm going to break a record. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Get your daily dose of realness on the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Every time I hear this song, I just think Miami. This is Miami right here. And I know your boy Little John. I think a lot of times, he spends a lot of time in Miami. I think he kind of has like a second house down there or something like that. But if you've ever been to Miami, man, on what's that, Ocean Boulevard or whatever the strip is, the main strip right there off the street, and those little nightclubs or whatever, they all sound just like this. You walk in there, that's all you hear. That's all you see. People going wild. You see women, dudes up on stages dancing. It's just crazy, man. But this is Miami. This is Miami. This is the Miami of sports talk shows, the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining, boy. All right, I said I'm going to break a record as far as chat I'm going to read today on the show. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read a lot of chat here, man. From Harvey Scott, Warriors, too many jumpers, not enough defense. I talked about the Warriors a little bit earlier, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Leon, Hawks built for the regular season. What's going to happen when the Hawks have to take the last shot and Jeff Teague got LeBron on him? Oh, I hate to agree with you, man. Hawks really struggling. Like I said, 5 out of their last 10, 5-5 in their last 10 games, man. It's not looking good coming to the end of the season right now. I hope things turn around. I hope they start to figure things out. They've had a great year, but yeah, I said it a couple weeks ago. I just don't see myself picking against Cleveland right now in a 7-game series, even though Atlanta's going to have home court advantage. From Fat Boy McCoon. Shouts out to Fat Boy McCoon. I haven't seen this name in reading chat, so I guess he's a new chatter. Thank you for being interactive, Fat Boy McCoon. I just want to see an OKC Golden State matchup or Memphis San Antonio. I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland lost in the second round. Ooh, I don't see that. I see Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals. No problem. From Kicking It with Kissy. The Hawks will handle their business. Believe that. Niners for life. Golden State isn't big enough. I think Memphis or San Antonio will pound them. No one is talking about Memphis. No one ever talks about Memphis. And why is that? Is that just because of the market? Yeah, no one ever talks about Memphis, man. They could surprise everyone. Detroit, Matt. I see a Memphis and Chicago finals. Memphis and Chicago? I don't see that. I don't think nobody sees that. Talking about the Chicago side of things. From Harvey Scott, I'm betting with the Cavs to win it all. Leon, I'm rolling with Cleveland. Jersey Vern, Hawks 2 and done. Detroit, Matt. Memphis is looking good to come out the West. Kiss my go to hell. I think OKC still might go deep. Yeah, they're a wild card. You seen how Enes Kanter has been playing over the last couple of games? They're the wild card, man. They are the wild card. If they get Serge Ibaka back healthy, they could be a wild card. From Ronald Cameron. Floyd about to get $100 million. Ooh, yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, and I was going to bring it up later, but Floyd, right now, they're saying is going to get $180 million. That's about 4 times more than he ever made in one fight. You best believe there will be a rematch. As the great Nino Brown said, money talks and bullish runs a marathon. Yeah, they're saying Floyd Mayweather right now is on track to make about $180 million in this fight. Unbelievable. Good for him. Holla at me, Floyd. Can I hold something? Ooh, can anybody get me in contact with Floyd's people? And I really wish that I didn't get, like, his personal phone number back in the day. I remember I told a story how I never got any athlete that we interviewed on the Two Live Studios and never got their number or anything like that. I really could use a little financial backing right now on the Doug Stewart Show to take it to the next level. Like one of them crowdfunding things or anything like that. Like, I really, like, Floyd give me $1 million. I mean, that's nothing, right? So can somebody get word to Floyd, man? I'm offering a partnership in the Doug Stewart Show. All I need is $1 million, and we will take this thing to the next level. Like, we'll take this thing past David Stern or Howard Stern. We take this thing past Howard Stern if I get $1 million, all right? So if you're listening out there, not just Floyd, anybody out there, you can donate to the show at thedougstewartshow.com. You can donate to the show. Shouts out to everybody that donated a couple of days ago. I appreciate it. And we send out a little gift to people that donate to the show. Man, if Floyd gives me $1 million, I'll give Floyd 5 of those little gifts. Yeah, Niner for life. This is no Empire Wednesday, Vance. We do what we do, laugh out loud. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Today is Wednesday, no Empire. From John Fisher, Martin has to have the top catchphrase. Nah, Martin didn't get my top 5 catchphrase. You must have just tuned in. I said earlier, somebody posted the Martin phrase, "What's up?" And I didn't have it on my list, so I put it on the honorable mention. And Eugene Jackson, Chicago fans are upset about Ray McDonald because there's an open investigation on a second offense, Doug. Yeah, it's an open case, but he's been accused. And this thing has been ongoing for a long time. And the details, the facts about the case, the evidence about the case are so, at this point, so minuscule that they haven't been able to put charges on him. Okay? I mean, it's huge. McDonald had 2 run-ins with women, Doug. Yes, he's had 2 accusations with women. Okay? And once again, maybe you just tuned in late and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If they find this guy guilty, if he's investigated and he's brought up on charges and he goes to court and he's found guilty, I'm just like everybody else. Throw the book at him, man. Throw the book at him, man. But what in effect you have right now are accusations. Accusations that he vehemently denies to the point where he's countersuing. Okay? What, does that not account for nothing? Just because he's the guy, he has to be the wrong person? No, man. I don't agree with that. Innocent until proven guilty. And once again, in this day and time, people get accused of stuff all the time. And we find out after the fact, after they've been in jail for 20, 30 years, that they weren't guilty. So yeah, I'm still going to stick to innocent until proven guilty. In this day and time, that's not the case, clearly. But I'm not comfortable with that. I'm just not. Gary Joyner, Puppet Factory mentality, Doug. They will say anything for rating sellouts. J.B. Jennings, preach, Doug. Let my man Ray McDonald eat. Vince Wright, did y'all see Snoop Dogg and Hulk Hogan on Monday Night Raw? Man, Snoop getting paid all over. Yeah, that's another reason why my wife doesn't like and I've told her, my wife doesn't like pimpish guys, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. She doesn't like guys with a pimpish kind of like attitude about themselves. And she also doesn't like Snoop Dogg because she feels like Snoop Dogg's like an attention whore. That's the best way to put it. And I try to tell her, I was like, technically he's not an attention whore if they come to him. It just seems like he's an attention whore. You can't be mad at the man for being and staying relevant. But yeah, my wife, she really has a problem with Snoop Dogg. And he's a pimp too. Oh, he has pimpish ways. From KC, James appreciates your thoughts, Doug. The kid has been cleared. On several occasions, yet he is still viewed as a rapist. Yeah. And once you get that stigma, man, once that stigma is attached to your name, it's hard to buck. And I guess that's what Ray McDonald is trying to do in this attempt to clear his name somewhat and suing this young lady, his accuser. But you always kind of got that stigma. Even if it's proven that you didn't do it, they're still going to be whispering about you behind your back, man. They are. That's just life. William Mack, I'm torn on whether or not to nominate Dwight Howard for garnishing his baby mama's bank account for violating a gag order. She was wrong for mentioning his name on that bootleg show, but come on, man. That's the mother of your child. What do you have to gain by taking her little money? Yeah, and I read the story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And it does seem very petty. And Dwight's got $1 gazillion. And this chick clearly is just trying to keep her name relevant so that she can continue to get roles on reality shows. But, I mean, if you're not going to adhere to the agreement, what's the purpose? You know? What's the purpose? And I guess that's what Dwight's saying. Like, you know, we went to court for this, and you're clearly violating what we agreed upon, so I got to follow through on my end. So I kind of understand both sides of it. I understand your side. Should he get nominated for a BP award? And Tree, jump on the mic here for a second. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From a woman's perspective, what do you think about that whole story with Dwight Howard suing his baby mama because she broke the agreement that they had about, you know, the gag order that they had?
I mean, we talked about this before, and you all jumped on the woman when she ain't trying to work. She's trying to work. Okay?
But she broke the rule. She broke the agreement, Tree. I understand she's trying to work, but you can work. She can get a job. I mean, I guess it'd be less. It'd be harder for her to get a job if she doesn't intermingle Dwight Howard conversation into the talk.
What kind of job can she get that's going to accommodate the lifestyle that he created for her?
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
Hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A. Would you like to try one of our frosted lemonades?
Well, Chick-fil-A it is then. She not attached to dude anymore. You know?
She is forever attached to dude because she rode raw.
Okay, now you really just playing with the people in the chat room and the listeners' emotions. Okay, you know they just pervs like that and they like to hear you talk dirty. Okay, so now you just playing into this whole role now, Tree. You didn't have to go there again 3 times a day on the show. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, I mean, come on. I was blatant just now. You didn't have to go there.
We speak truth here on the Doug Stewart Show, right?
Yeah, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. William Mack, I'm torn on whether. Okay, that's the one I just read. Let me read a couple more before I jump to a break. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Detroit Matt. He says, I've never heard Iggy not give props to other female artists. Now, Nicki don't give no props. Yeah, I had a real problem with Nicki Minaj because I thought it was kind of like blasphemous for Nicki to go in at Little Kim. Like, how dare you? Larry David. But over the last couple of years, Nicki Minaj has kind of grown on me. Leon, BPA to the judge who only gave Sharper 9 years for taking all that bunkie. He said, but. In the Low Country, we say bunkie. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, man. I don't understand that. I mean, 9 years for repetitively drugging and raping women? That doesn't seem accurate. Stagger Lee, Doug, I'll come on the show, screw T.I. Yeah. Vince Wright, interview stagger. Jarvis J. T.I. is caping for that fake. Yeah. Harvey Scott, F punk ass. What? God, y'all going in on T.I. Fat Boy McCoon. It's the same reason people hate wrestling. It's not real. Iggy ain't real. Yeah. Definitely understand that. That ninja, women hate condoms if we being real. Yeah. I've heard that once or twice. Oh, from my friends. I've heard that once or twice from my friends. When I was in college, in high school.
Man.
Gary Joyner, my cousins didn't like condoms either. 8 kids later. Yeah, man. That was guy talk when I said that earlier about how dudes don't like condoms. We really don't, but it's kind of like one of those necessary evils. But you know dudes don't be using condoms, right? Don't go away, the Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, treeless sports talk show in America. The realest, treeless guy talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Can you pass the word for your boy? Just tell one person how we get down Monday through Friday, every day during the week, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. On the Doug Stewart Show. Let me throw this out there while I'm thinking about it, man. Me and the staff had a little discussion about it, man, and for a lot of different reasons, we think it helped the show a little bit as well. We're going to move the time of the show an hour up. It might start Monday. It might not start till the week after that. But if you follow the show, it's no big deal. You'll know when the show starts. So follow the show on the DougStewartShow.com, okay? Follow the show on Spreaker.com. I'm sorry, on Spreaker. Go to Spreaker.com, pull up the Doug Stewart Show, and then hit the little follow button. And so whenever I start the show, you will be alerted. Go into your settings and put, and set it up where you get an alert every time the show goes live. All right? So I'll give you more details on that and exactly when it's going to happen. But once again, it's no big deal if you follow the show on Spreaker.com. But we're going to move it up an hour pretty soon here. Not tomorrow, not this week. So, for the rest of this week, definitely stick with the 11 o'clock time. Shouts out to my man Smooth at smoothtickets.com. My daughter, my wife took my daughter to the Ariana Grande concert last night downtown at Phillips Arena. And last minute, my daughter's been doing fantastic in school. She honor roll, AB honor roll. She's been smoking girls in track. Speaking of which, this past weekend, she actually won her heat in the 100. She had the second fastest time in the 100 of 23 girls. So shouts out to Cara Berra. Yes. She's starting to get it. She's starting to understand, and she doesn't even have good starts. She doesn't run through the tape like she probably should. But ooh-wee, and I'll post the video of when she ran the 100 this weekend. And she ran in a heat with like 4 girls, and she smoked them. She smoked them. I'm like, there go my gal. There go my girl. There go my girl. Yeah. So very proud of her. So she's been doing a lot of great things. Once again, great grades and whatnot. And so I called Smooth last minute. She's a big fan of this young girl, Ariana Grande, and she performed last night at Phillips Arena. And Smooth last minute, for a great price. I can't afford it. You just know I can't afford it. Last minute got me a great price of some tickets to see Ariana Grande last night. My wife and, we had to get 2. So my wife took her out there, man, and my daughter had a phenomenal time. So shouts out to Smooth. If you need tickets to anything in the world, not just sports, entertainment, sports events, anything, check out my man Smooth at smoothtickets.com. That's smoothtickets.com. All right, so let me finish out my list of top 5 TV catchphrases of all times on the Doug Stewart Show. Number 5 on my list was "Hey, hey, hey," or no, that's Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey. It's crazy how different inflection means totally different things. Fat Albert was "Hey, hey, hey," and Dwayne from What's Happening was "Hey, hey, hey." Number 3 was "Hey," Arthur Fonzarelli on Happy Days. And you know what the 1 and 2 are. You know what they are. It was just the order that I put them in. And really, these are 1A, 1 and 1A. But the way I had them written down, number 2, I had the famous quote from Arnold Jackson. "What you talking about, Willis?" on Different Strokes. That comes in number 2. And number 1 on my list, you just can't deny it, man. This guy had T-shirts. This guy had, every time you looked around, you saw JJ from Good Times Paraphernalia back in late 70s. And that's none other than Dynamite! Yes, sir. And I'm doing my hands up right now. And, it was kind of like some copyright infringement. He throwing up the hooks like he's the Q's, like he the bros. But, yeah, he threw his hands up and Dynamite. That was just, that whole saying was such hot. It was so hot. It was hot like fish grease. And that's the number 1 catchphrase from TV of all time, per Doug Stewart. Let me look at my honorable mentions, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Somebody called up a little bit earlier with that, "I'm rich, Mitch," from Chappelle's Show. Take these cookies. Take these cookies. A cookie from Empire. Ooh, probably our latest entrant. Take these cookies. Do y'all remember old school sitcom days? You remember this show called Alice? And you remember Flo on there? Kiss My Grits. Kiss My Grits comes in as an honorable mention. Homie Don't Play That. Remember Homie the Clown on In Living Color? I Pity the Fool. Mr. T. Here's a classic one right here. Don't Make Me Angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Yeah. David Banner, The Incredible Hulk. Love that show. Love that show. When you heard that, you know some ass was about to be kicked. I mean, you knew that. And it's hard to explain for the younger people, but go back and YouTube the original Incredible Hulk on TV with, what was the guy's name? Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby is the Incredible Hulk. Did I Do That? The Urkel thing, which I've never seen 5 minutes of that show, but it was very big. Homer Simpson. That's the longest running television show in TV history, I believe. I think it surpassed even MASH. And which is you can understand why, because it's a cartoon. So you know what happens a lot of times in sitcoms or shows like that, they get dated or the kids grow up. Like the kids in the show, they grow up and they're not as funny and cute anymore. And writers, leave and come and go, and the show gets stale. Even Martin. You remember at the end of Martin? Martin was whack at the end. It was very whack at the end. No Gina. Martin was trying to stuff his tongue down her throat every chance he got. And so there was no Gina. And the writing was totally different. It just wasn't as funny as the first couple of years. And, they don't have that problem on The Simpsons. They're freaking cartoons. Like Bart Simpson's been 8 years old for the past 30 years. That's just a great concept. And, oh, yeah. Yabba dabba doo! The Flintstones. One more cartoon entrant. Love me some Flintstones, man. Love me some Flintstones back in the day. And we could probably even do a catchphrase, cartoon catchphrase, little top 5 or whatever on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. From Leon, damn Doug, condoms aren't fun. I didn't mean that. I take that back. If you're not married, is what I meant. Let's see, K3000, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tree just kept it real, laughing my butt off. Q, I'm not even gonna try to say his name. Laugh out loud, rode her raw. Y'all so childish a lot of times. And Tree just played into the whole damn thing. She repeated that phrase again. That's Tree's catchphrase. Ride it raw. Younger brother, that baby Janet Jackson had was mine too. Ooh, you remember that? You remember that whole controversy? When Janet Jackson married one of the DeBarge boys, and then they had said that she was pregnant. The reason they got married is because she was pregnant, or that was the word on the street. And then there was never a baby. She never was pregnant. You never saw her with a big stomach or nothing like that. That ninja stopped Tree. Younger brother, BPA to all the folks crying about Ray and Hardy, but have Nathan to say about Ben Roethlisberger. Ooh, yeah. And I don't remember exactly what the tone was among the media concerning the whole Ben Roethlisberger controversy. I don't remember, so I'm not going to really sign off on that comment. I'm not really sure. I remember people being very critical of him, but you had valid claims in that. You don't even have a charge against Ray. You don't really have a charge against. You don't have a charge against Ray McDonald. But people are putting Ben Roethlisberger and Ray McDonald in the same category. As far as the outrage, Joshua, what would everybody else would do to get money off Iggy? Jay Goods, did I do that? Steve Urkel. Staggerly top 5 from Fox News. It's Obama's fault. Yeah, exactly. That Doc 12. Look at Akon and Lady Gaga. Gary Joyner. The world isn't fair, Doug. Blue-eyed rappers makes everyone millionaires. Yeah. And at the end of the day, in that conversation we were having about T.I. and them promoting Iggy Azalea, yeah, I really can't be mad because it's marketing. From the standpoint of Hustle Game and T.I. and those guys, it's marketing, So really, at the end of the day, I guess you can't be mad at them because it's business and they're making money. But from a vantage point of just a fan of hip hop, I can feel some type of way, and I do, and a lot of people do. Yeah. That Doc 12, they chose her to be unique, And he had in parentheses, John the Company Man. Critics want to mention they miss when hip-hop was rapping. If you did, then Killer Mike be platinum. Kendrick Lamar, hood politics. Yeah. To a large degree, man, we're kind of hypocritical because we don't embrace, and I say we being rap fans, we don't embrace, real lyricists and real hip-hop. We don't. Anything that sounds commercial, and I kind of fall into it a lot of times, and I'm older now, and I don't listen to, any and every hip-hop. For the most part, I just listen, being honest, I just listen to hip-hop on radio for the most part. I don't have, like back in the day, I used to buy everybody's mixtapes and mix CDs when they started coming out. So, I can agree. To a large degree, we fall into that whole commercial stuff. Whatever they play on the radio, whatever 8 songs they play on the radio, and trust me, it's only 8 damn songs. Whatever 8 songs they play, we buy into it, and the rest is history. Speaking of T.I., are you not entertained? Yes, sir! Thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. We'll do it again tomorrow. Shouts out to Tree of Life. Thank you, Tree, for all that you did today on the Doug Stewart Show. Waterhead Walter. Dwayne Vassan. Gerald Oliveri, my engineering guys, they make the show go. I mean, if it wasn't for them, there would be no us. You better believe that. All right, so tomorrow, I don't want to confuse you. We're going to change the time of the show. Maybe starting next week, we'll have a more definitive answer for you tomorrow. Maybe the week after. But tomorrow, same Doug Stewart time. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Same Doug Stewart channel. Peace!